Hello, everybody. Welcome to my basement. It is time for some reviews on the run live. Blake is going to be monitoring the audio and making sure that I sound all right. The reason why that we wanted to do this today, I've seen a whole bunch of stuff in a very short amount of time. I've gone to some movies. I've watched a lot of television. We were traveling, so I was sort of binging on lots of episodes of things. Of course, I played Call of Duty, so we're going to talk about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare today. And we're doing something a little bit differently. We're going to follow along with the chat as best as I can, and we can talk about everything individually as we go along. So, hey Taz on YouTube. Hey Danny Jablowski. Hey Zhang Fei 5000 or 500. Sorry, pardon me, my bad. David Hinke, Sean Adkins, Donnie S. And on Twitch, we've got Ajapam, The Last Disciple, Blarcade. It's great to see everybody. And of course, I think a few more people will probably start joining in as we keep going on here. Okay, well, without further ado, last week I actually saw a couple of movies that we didn't have time to shoot reviews for and cut, but both of them were really good. Let's start with Hacksaw Ridge. This is the new movie from Mel Gibson. He wanted to talk about a very famous Army vet from World War II, who was, I think his name was Desmond Doss, and he's played by Andrew Garfield. And this is a vet that did not believe in violence of any kind. His father is portrayed by Hugo Weaving, who also has a military background. He was a World War I veteran, and he watched all of his best friends die, and he instilled a great appreciation for life and religious values in his sons, both of whom go on to join the war. But Desmond Doss, played by Andrew Garfield, and this is based on a true story, decided that he was going to be a conscientious objector and not pick up a firearm and go to World War II. And famously on this battle at Hacksaw Ridge, which they were fighting the Japanese, the Americans were fighting the Japanese, they were just getting cut to shreds. And here's Andrew Garfield with his coiffed hair and his religious, sort of holy beliefs, not refusing to pick up a weapon and being a medic for hundreds of fallen soldiers all over the battlefield. And it's amazing because this movie does a pretty good balance of being a little sort of too sugar-coated. Obviously, everything is painted in a beautiful 1940s light, and it's almost this glowing homage to the movies and the look of that era. And it feels a little too manufactured, a little too, movie friendly, a little too clean and glossy. But then that's juxtaposed with some of the most horrific, grotesque scenes on a battlefield since Saving Private Ryan. And, I think it worked. It's not perfect. It does feel a little saccharine and a little artificial when we're at home with Andrew Garfield and he falls in love with, this woman and basically pursues her, played by Teresa Palmer. And that's kind of sweet, but it doesn't really resonate. It doesn't really feel, very true. It feels a little too safe and not filled with great passion. What is filled with great passion is the dynamic between Hugo Weaving and especially Andrew Garfield. It actually brought me to tears because the father is just so, obviously dealing with post-traumatic stress. He's an alcoholic. He doesn't know how to have conversations. And Hugo Weaving, I think this may be one of the best performances of his career. He's just amazing in this movie. You can't take your eyes off of him. You really feel for him. You see the wounds. And he really just loves his family, and he's trying to protect it too much, and it's all sort of disintegrating in his grasp, and it's really amazing to watch. And then when we get into the battlefield, it's harrowing. I mean, you are basically. It's, if you can remember the battle sequences in Saving Private Ryan with limbs and heads and stuff just getting splattered and shot right off and gaping bullet holes and just amazing effects and an amazing, cinema verite, like we're like living this experience. That's some incredible action direction on Mel Gibson and his team's part because you really do feel you scared for your life in all of those sequences. And Desmond Doss, as a heroic figure, really blossoms and really sort of the import of the work that this man did and the sacrifice that this man gave really rings true with the way that they honor the horror of that battlefield. So I came away, I really enjoyed this movie. I felt like Mel Gibson has kind of been in Hollywood jail for a little while since he kind of went nuts. And I don't know if this is pure redemption for him, but I think he made a solid film, and I don't think you're going to forget it, And there's been a sea of pretty decent World War II movies and war movies over the years, but Hacksaw Ridge is actually pretty solid, and I think you should go check it out. It's in theaters already, and obviously Doctor Strange was our big one last week, but Hacksaw Ridge did really well at the box office, and Mel Gibson is already being cheered in a lot of circles out there, and I think deservedly so. This was great. It's also cool to see Vince Vaughn play this drill sergeant guy, and a little out of character for him, but he obviously relishes the role. He has a good time with it. And there's some other great cameos in there. Sam Worthington from Avatar actually pops up. He's like the "where the hell was he" department of seeing Sam Worthington again. So I'm going to give Hacksaw Ridge an 8 out of 10. And if you've got any questions for me about Hacksaw Ridge or any comments, if anybody got a chance to check it, you can let me know. Swangor says Saving Private Ryan's beach scene was intense. November 11th is coming up. Everybody get a poppy. It's the least that we can do. Yep, I hear that, man. I should be wearing one right now. Thanks for reminding me. That's good. Blarcade says Mel Gibson was in a great movie this year called Bloodfather. Just came out on DVD. I haven't seen that. I've heard incredible things about Bloodfather, and I'm definitely going to pick that up. Blake and I are traveling next week, so that's going to be one that I'm going to get for the road. Doctor Strange has come up. Smoke BC is talking about it. He saw it in a BC theater. I fainted when they showed his hands pinned while he was in the hospital. If you fainted at the carnage in Doctor Strange, Hacksaw Ridge will probably make you barf all over the floor because it's pretty grotesque, man. I'm glad to see Andrew trying to move away from his comic book background with Spider-Man. Danny Turrell is saying on YouTube. It's interesting to watch what his moves are going to be. Obviously he had a kind of a career path, a trajectory as Peter Parker kind of mapped out for himself, and that got all pulled out from under him. He's a really solid actor, and he's good in this, but I don't know. He's very big. The way that he handles his emotions is very big, and I think that was one of the things with Peter Parker is it didn't feel like he was an introvert. He felt a little too flamboyant and larger than life, and he does kind of do that in this movie a little bit as well. I think Andrew Garfield is a really, really, talented actor with a lot of great tools, but he just needs a little more maturity and some more risks in the types of roles that he's going to take, and hopefully he gets those because I think he's going to grow into an incredible actor over the years. Vic, are you going to do more live reviews on the run in the future? We're checking this out, David. We think if this kind of stuff works, we will keep doing it. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.